Sunday school, Sunday school, Sunday school, Sunday school, Sunday school is marching on. Sunday school is Come on, clap with her. Here we go, say Sunday school. Sunday school, Sunday school, Sunday school, Sunday school, Sunday school is marching on. S-U-N-D-A-Y-S-E-H-O-O-L, Sunday school is marching on. Sunday school, Sunday school, Sunday school, Sunday school, Sunday school is marching on. S-U-N-D-A-Y-S-E-H-O-O-L, Sunday school is marching on. It's marching on. It's marching on. Marching on. Marching on. Marching on. Sunday school is marching on. S-U-N-D-A-Y-S-E-H-O-O-L, Sunday school is marching on. It's marching on. It's marching on. 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 Sunday school is marching on. S-U-N-D-A-Y-S-E-H-O-O-L, Sunday school is marching on. Together with Sunday school is marching on. Clap wherever you are. Ready?
Wisconsin. Good morning, everyone. If you are in my line now, Will you make some noise? We are currently making sure that our audio and everything is working well. I do have some feedback. Let me see if I right? But that gives me feedback inside the video. Can't hear. So let me try this. I'm gonna see if I kill the mic. this camera just to do a little bit next to Brandon is loyalty, which I think is an absolutely wonderful name. We have these two young people, and they think I'm going to forget, but I am not. Oh, this is Raquel, and this is Gina. Wave your hand, say good morning. On the other side, we have Brother Bryson. Wave your hand, Brother Bryson. Brother Bryson, turn to that camera and wave your hand if you will, so y'all can see Brother Bryson. This is Gabriel. This is Gabriel. That's Gabriel. They did this on purpose so I could be confused. This is Gabriel. Who's supposed to be sitting right here that left? Nobody sat right here. Come on, Bryson. And this is Javon. These young people are here to talk through, and thank you, sir. Excellent. Thank you for that camera work. These young people are here to help us to understand Gabriel's interpretation. Now, this lesson is named after y'all. Did y'all know that? This is Gabriel's interpretation. This is what we have in our adult lesson. In the young people's book, it's called The Quarterback.
You
You
all
all
have
have
studied
studied
Daniel,
Daniel,
right?
right?
Now, test.
Still had the desire to pray. They said since we switched mics, the sound has gone down.
Test, test,
Test,
test,
test,
test.
test.
Test. Can you make sure that online that they can hear us too? If you're watching online, you can't hear it online. You sure? How is that, Sister Hayes, since we switched? Somebody please let me know online how that sounds. These young people are too sharp and too intelligent.
Yeah, you can hear it now.
Test. Okay, thank you, Sister Compton. Okay. So use this one or that one? I got you. Okay, that's better. I'm gonna fight Elder Hannah and Sister Keisha after this class is over. All right. Okay, so here we go. Thank you, young people. Are these up? This one is on. The kids can use it. Okay. Thank you. All right. Come on, girl. All right. So Daniel's in the lion's den. Come on. Anybody else? History of Daniel. Anything else you know about Daniel? Talk real loud.
He also had visions of the end times.
He had visions of the end times. What is studying the end times called?
Revelation.
Whoa, wait. What you say?
Is Revelation.
Revelation is a book connected to the end times. You are correct. Can any of the adults tell us what is the doctrine that studies the end times? Ooh, somebody's going to get in trouble later on today. Here comes somebody. Eschatology is the correct answer. He dealt with things that happen at the end times. Tell me what you know about the end times that may not have been in your lesson. Come on, loyalty.
That judging the day is near. No man knows when God's going to come back to earth.
No man knows when God is going to come back. Anybody else? End times. What's going to happen at the end? What if we were all in church like right now and the Lord came back? Who would still be here if he came? Oh, no, hold on, sir. Do you still want to be here if you come back?
No.
What if we were all sitting here and the Lord came back and we knew that it was the Lord, but some of us didn't make it? What if Pastor Tipton was still sitting here after the rapture?
I'd be confused.
Someone would be wrong with that. Someone would be wrong with that. So Daniel dealt with, God gave him vision and insight into things that are going to happen at the end. Tell me something else that you studied. Anything else that comes to mind from something that you read?
Rams having two horns.
Talk about it.
Rams having two horns.
Rams having two horns.
They're talking about two people, basically two people that in the end times, they are talking about two kings of Persia and Greece.
You keep going. You good.
Greece. So in the end times, there's gonna be two rams with two horns, and they're talking about people that's gonna come and bend rules, and make stuff in their own way.
That's very good. Can we give them a hand, please? That is excellent. So the title in our adult book says Gabriel's interpretation. Now, sometimes we use the adult book on Saturday morning with the young people. I'm finna get in trouble, and I just got here. We use the adult book sometimes because, let me put it this way, you all can understand the adult book. I have a different answer that I'm going to tell the adults in a few minutes when we're going over in our investigation. That means our books. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But until then, you all can understand. I know you have the lesson with the quarterback of Peyton, you finna get in trouble. But we're also going to go back and forth between that book and our adult book. The Bible Truth says God's promises give hope for a better tomorrow. Before we go any further, anything else or any question or thought that you might have about Daniel? What country was Daniel from? Country. Jerusalem was the city in that country. Come on. Not Egypt. That's where they're going to be. Come on, sir. From close. It's in that country. Adults, what country was Daniel from? He was from Israel. You did say Israel, but you whispered it. It didn't say it. I heard you mumble it. He was from Israel, but they were taken captive, young people first, by who? A bunch of people came and took them. Not the Egyptians, not yet. In our lesson, who took the who took the Israelites captive? This is why Daniel is having this vision. Y'all know it, the adults. What's the answer? The Babylonians. Think of it this way. The children of Israel were like the Chicago Bears. Good people, wonderful people. They did what the Lord told them to do. They were obedient and they loved the Lord. But then Nebuchadnezzar or Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, they were the Babylonians. And they were the Babylonians, and they would come and they took over Soldier Field in Chicago, and they dragged all of the Israelites and they took them captive. But even in the midst of being captive, God is still blessing them. Who were the other three people that were thrown into the fire? Y'all talked about that earlier. Who? What was they? You ain't got to tell me their real name. Can Nebuchadnezzar threw them in the fire? What was the three boys' name? Come on, sister.
And I forgot the last one. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And Abednego.
And Abednego. Clap your hands for. Those were their Babylonian names. I wonder, should we pick on the adults and ask what was their Jewish name? Do y'all think we should call one of the adults over to the camera, especially one that think they know all of the answers in the Bible? Which one should we pick and ask them what would their
Elder boy.
They said call Elder boy. Notice how he turned his head. Notice he turned his head right then. Somebody raised their hand. Do we know? Come on, sir. We won't put nobody on the spot. We'll see who.
Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
And Azariah. Very good, sir. As you all can see, Wisconsin has turned out on this morning. Those were their three Jewish names. When they were taken into captivity, Nebuchadnezzar was trying to change their identity by changing their name. But can't nobody change your name, loyalty? Y'all supposed to be teaching, not me. They tried to change what they were called, but they knew who they were. And those three names, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, all of those were their names given by their mom and dad. All right. Y'all are on it. I see y'all have studied and done your homework. Let's talk about this last thing where they wanted Daniel to eat from the king's table. But what happened with that? Who can explain that? Come on, sir. Come on, take this mic and say it loud. What's your name again?
Robert.
Turn to that camera right there, Robert, and say, "You eat the food." Look at the camera and answer.
No.
How can you do it? Do you remember not what he said? Do you remember what? How come you didn't want to eat from the king's table? When you answer, look at that camera. How come you want to eat the king's food? You don't have to tell me what's in the Bible. Tell me what you think first, because there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the young people giving their impression of the Bible in Sunday school. Uh-oh. There's nothing wrong with the young people giving what they interpreted as in Sunday school. If you expect them to say it word by word or have all of the thesis and all of the explanation, that's not fair to them. As teachers, that's what we do. We give them the understanding based on what their interpretation is. So the fact that he knows he didn't eat from the table, that's really enough, especially for his age. Gotcha. Okay, come on, sir.
Because it wasn't good for him.
It was not good for him. Clap your hands for him. I'm sorry. And for your age, sir, that's really good enough for right now. If you realize that some things the devil wants you to do ain't for you, then you halfway to heaven just with that point, okay? He did not want to eat it because it wasn't good for him. I'm still talking too much. Anything else that you all have from Daniel? Javon, I want you to start us off with this. God's promises give hope for a better tomorrow. As a 19-year-old, talk about hope. What does that mean? You are now representing your age group. What does hope? What gives your age group hope? What do you look for from the church to help you with hope?
Uh, consistency.
Explain.
Uh, well, I feel like as a young adult, it should be more young adults that's older than me that should be teaching me something
I love it.
and explaining to me about what's going on through this journey with Christ.
How would that help you in your walk with Christ?
Um, I feel like it'll show me more about, and I'll learn more about just not off of my point of view. I have somebody else's point of view too.
Very good. Please clap your hands for Javon. Loyalty.
To add on to what Javon said, it will help also to have a spiritual point of view because their walk with God has been longer than my walk with God, so they might be able to tell me like how to get out of a situation that I might think I have in my own hands, rather than they have God to help them to tell me what to do, if that makes sense. It's also helpful to have an older family member or older relative that believes in God because they can help you with your walk through God as they are continuing their walk through God. It's really a blessing, honestly, to have somebody who believes in God to help you with your like journey in life, help you with your tribulations, help you with even like the daily issues that you might face. Because with God, everything's easier or better. So.
I love it. I love it. Any other young person want to speak to that? Hope. The importance of hope. The Bible truth, God's promises gives hope for a better tomorrow. Have you ever been promised something by somebody? How did you feel when you didn't get that promise? You were hurt. Say it loud. You were hurt. Somebody else. Disappointed. What did you say, sir? Sad. Very good. You were sad. But do you know when God makes a promise? This is it, sir. Say it, say it.
When God makes a promise, He always make it come true.
God will always make his promise come true, even if you are in bondage. They are in slavery, but God still gave them a promise. And the promise was today may not be so good, but tomorrow is going to be better. All right, that is very good. Let's look at our first verse. If you have a Bible, a phone, tablet, I do want you to look at the scripture, if you will. And if I can, I'm sorry, if I can get the young people a few Bibles. The verse 19 says, and he said, "Behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last of the indignation. For at the time of appointment, the end shall be." I want somebody else to read verse 20 and 21. Do you have it? Can you do that? Read verse 20 and 21 out loud, please, sir.
Right here.
The ram which thou sawest have two horns are the kings of Media and Persia, and the rough goat is the king of Persia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
Now, these are countries that conquered the children of Israel, or these are countries that were the world powers at the time. You have the Medes, the Persians. You've heard of Xerxes in school or in the movie 300. Okay, we in church. I can't talk about that. The king of, in verse 21, Grecia, which is the country of Greece. Who was the great ruler from the country of Greece? Young people first? Nope. You learned this in your world history class in high school. He was short, but he was great. I gave y'all all the clues right there. Now this is a tough question, sir. If you know the answer to this one, I may have to pull out somebody's wallet, maybe not mine. Do you know who it was? Not David. Who was the leader of Greece, the great world leader? I didn't almost gave you the answer. Adults, who was it? It was Alexander the Great. There is a lot of connection between. You the one sitting there didn't say it. Don't get mad at me. There's a lot of connection between world civilization and the scripture. What will make you a better history student is because you know the Bible. That makes you better prepared for school when you know what the word says. All right. So, but there, all of these were the earth conquerors, but there's somebody else that's coming that's going to be greater than all of them. You read very well, sir. Can we clap our hands for Bryce? Do not underestimate reading in church. That helps you in school. Somebody else that will read the next two verses. This is the interpretation of the dream. You cannot borrow this one. You're going to read the next two. You are reading 23 and 24. Nope, 22 and 23.
Now that's been broken, where is fort stood up for it? For a kingdom shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, then their transgressions are come to the full. A king of five con- continents
Mhm.
and understanding, dark sentences shall stand up.
All right. All this is talking about is what's going to happen at the end. I don't want to get too deep with this with you all, but this is talking about the things that you see in Revelation. Revelation is not to be feared. Most of what you see in Revelation, when you see horns and beasts and the fire and the vials poured out, a lot of that ain't for you. That's for those that are going to have to be here after the Lord has come and left. The concern that you got in Revelations is just being caught up and go with the Lord. All of that other bad stuff, what is the mark that you're gonna have to go shopping, to buy stuff? I know y'all have seen it. The rappers are starting to rap in it. Don't let them fool you though. They just using it to sell records. They don't understand what they're talking about. If they did, they would give their life to the Lord. What is the mark of the beast? Meaning, if you go to the grocery store after the Lord come back in order to buy something, you're gonna have to have this mark. Do you know what it is? Some say it's the apple. No, Oh, no, I'm not gonna say that. Because there's a lot of people here that got Apple devices, and they say that Steve Jobs is no, it's not Steve Jobs, it's not Bill Gates, it's not a person. What's the mark? You're gonna have to have it written in your forehead in order to go into the grocery store. I know y'all have heard this. Adults, what is it?
I know. Can I say?
There it is. 666. The mark of the beast. That ain't for you if you have given your life to God. You don't have to have that mark. You're going, maybe we get too deep. If we get into deep, please let me know. But this is, this is connected to what Daniel saw. What was the doctrine we said earlier? That has to do with the doctrine of last things, ends with ology. Anytime you see eschatology, very good. When you see O-L-O-G-Y, that means the study of. Y'all are some sharp young people. Biology is the study of life. Very good. So you got all of the ologies. Now I'm gonna quiz y'all since y'all think y'all all that then. There are certain doctrines in the church that we believe. Eschatology is one. That's the doctrine of last thing. What is, use the word context. Use the word that you hear in context to figure it out. What is soteriology? Study of. Got something to do with church? Almost. Since you said that, let me ask you bibliology. Study of the Bible. Soteriology. Almost.
Soul tie.
Ooh, it could be soul ties, but we ain't gonna go there. That's good. That's good. Adults, the doctrine of salvation. Very good. Somebody over there said it. Hamartiology. That's kind of difficult. That's the doctrine, the study of sin. Pneumatology. Y'all know that one. Pneuma. Let me give you a clue. Pneuma means wind, spirit, or breath. I didn't give you the answer. The study of the Holy Spirit. When you see ology at the end of a word, that means the study of. What's the study of last things? Eschatology. Very, very good. This is what Daniel is dealing with. This is what God has enabled him to see. I need y'all to tell me what else you read and give me something else that you may not have known after studying the lesson. Y'all talk now. Somebody else. Come on, man. Loyalty.
I've learned that God will come to you in dreams. Like most people say they don't believe in God because they can't see Him, but God shows Himself in other ways, such as dreams, like through other people, or through like God can show Himself. Whether like even if you don't like you can see Him face to face or a person, it's not like that's not a reason to not believe in God because He does show Himself in other ways. That's what I learned from the story of David.
That is magnificent. God shows himself in other ways. Somebody else. What else, when you studied Daniel, what else came to your mind? What else stuck out? Anything else that you feel we need to discuss as we begin to close? Come on, sir. Robert, talk real loud. Look at that camera right there.
That if the devil do something to make you do something, just say no.
Just say no. I wonder if there are any adults who will admit that you wish you had just said no. Oh, okay, okay. See, they try to act like they ain't done nothing wrong before. They try to act like they came out speaking in tongues. Their first word was Habashata Jesus. It was not. Okay? They try to act like that, but it's not the truth. We have all made mistakes. Romans says all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. We are all wish, Robert, that we have said no. That's the most important thing about having a relationship with God. One of the passions that I have with doing this every Saturday with kids for the last 2 years was all the mistakes that I made and trying to make sure I tell you, you don't have to make those same mistakes. You don't have to look over your shoulder and regret things that you have done. If you learn now from those of us that will admit that we made mistakes, I'm giving them another chance to say amen or clap. If they will admit that they ain't always been saved. They wearing long skirts now, but they're old. Which way is Chicago? But yes, that's the whole point. Daniel and them understood that. But then also, and we got to close, and the tech issues at the beginning were my fault. Now, I should have done better. But the main point, one of the main points is Daniel and them understood who they were, in spite of them being where they were, in spite of them being in captivity. They knew and understood that they still belong to God. In your school, you still belong to God. On the school bus, you still belong to God. Wherever you at, you belong to the Lord, and you don't have, Robert said, all you got to do is say no. Is it hard dealing with peer pressure now? Is it hard to say no? Will you talk about it, Brent? Why do you say yes?
It's hard to say no because you don't want nobody to judge you or think differently of you if you say no.
Anybody else want to talk about it? Gab,
Okay.
I set you up. That's why I put the mic.
I say it's hard to say no because, like what he said, like you don't want no one to like add you out, like don't want to be friends with you or don't want to be cool with you no more because you don't want to do the same thing that they're doing.
All right. Anybody else? Come on. Nope. Gabriel Bryson.
I said yes, it's hard to say no because basically you don't, just what Brandon said, you don't want nobody to think differently of you because you always say no to something and it's never a yes from you because basically people say no a lot because of the stuff that they want because you don't everything you need you don't need you want it. So people that's why people say it's hard to say no.
I need you to say that last part one more time. About need and want. Say that again.
Everything people need, they just want. They don't need it, but they want it.
Some of the things that we say we need is something that we just want. Give me an example.
So basically,
Wait, I just got real nervous about what you were going to say. Don't get me in no trouble. Okay. All right, go ahead.
people say like some people say they need a phone,
All right, good. Go ahead.
but some kids or some people just want it. They don't ask for it. They don't need it because they get all like the kids. They get their head wrapped around social media.
Mr. Bryson, if that is something, if that's something that you learn right now, sir, you're going to avoid a whole lot of trouble in this life. If you understand, if you understand the difference between what I want and what I need. So let me ask you this. Which one is the devil trying to get us to give in to more?
Want
And the Lord is trying to tell us
what we need.
what we need. How old are you?
13.
13. Let that guide your life. Let that guide your friends. Let that guide your girlfriend. Let that guide your girlfriend. Let that guide your girlfriend. You with me, ain't you? Let that guide what house you buy, what money you spend, the places that you go. Let that what you just said. Because very seldom will the devil try to get you to stick to what you need. He's going to try to influence you to go after what you want. That you have just taught this entire lesson, sir. That was excellent. Come on, sir. Go ahead. Talk real loud.
So if your friends tell you to do something like that, they're not your friends because your friends will want the best for you and not the worst for you.
Your friend will want to. So at school, you hang with people that want the best for you. How old are you? 8. You didn't want to tell me how old you are? You looked at me like I'm not telling you. Oh, your birthday tomorrow. So you're trying to figure out which one. Got you. That was very good. And now you got $20 out of me because you did that. That's very good. I need your help though. You said your friends, say what you said again.
Your friends will want the best for you and not the worst for you.
And that's growing up, right? That's being in school, right? I need you to help me. I know you're only 8, but help me as somebody older than you. I ain't old, but I'm older than you. Does that also apply to my friends like now in the church? Do I got to be careful about them too? Because some of them, bro, listen. Do I also have to be careful with them?
Yes, because maybe they was that they was made to be here. That somebody told them to be here and they didn't be here.
Is he talking about you? You're not talking about me. Hang with those that want the best. Is that what Daniel did? Daniel hung with, I'm not going to sit at the table and eat with y'all because I don't want what y'all eat. I don't want what y'all eat. That's a whole t-shirt. I don't want y'all eating. So as a 19-year-old, as a 17-year-old, who else is the teenagers? 15 years old, 14 years old, you're gonna have to let the boys know I don't want what y'all eat. And just be sassy enough to just say it and keep on going. They're gonna be wondering what you're talking about. Here, do you want to smoke this? I don't want to eat what y'all eat. Do you want to drink this? I don't want to drink what y'all eat. I don't want to eat what y'all eat. Say it again.
I don't want to get what y'all got.
Say it one more time.
I don't want to get what y'all got.
I don't want to get what y'all got. That's what she is whispering and saying. Daniel understood that because he had something greater down on the inside of him. You have to have something greater than you to make you go after the things you need and not what you want. If you don't have what's greater, something more powerful than you're going to make these mistakes. You're going to go after things that you would have ate at the table instead of saying no. The Hebrew boys would have bowed down to Nebuchadnezzar instead of saying, no, I'm not going to bow down. And then they said something when they was in the furnace, that before they got thrown in the furnace, Nebuchadnezzar gave them another chance. And he said, I'm going to give you another chance because I really don't want to kill y'all. But what they responded and said, whether we die or not, God is able. God is with us. So, King, we are not afraid to answer you, sir. We're going to be okay because if we die, guess what? We done gone to heaven. If we go through the fire and come out, we just saved a whole lot of more people from this testimony service that we just had. So you got to have something bigger on the inside of you. Come on, Lord, talk to us.
I was gonna say, I think what they said that made Nebuchadnezzar angry was that they told him that he wasn't their king. He said that God was their king, and that's why he got mad and threw him in the burning because they told him that you're not a king to us. We have a higher king, a higher power that tells us what to do. That's why.
One more time. Get the mic.
Oh, okay. I said I think the reason Nebuchadnezzar got mad was because they told him that they wasn't his king, that he wasn't their king. They told them that they had a higher power and a more powerful king, and they told them that they wasn't gonna listen to him because he wasn't their power. I think that's why, like the ultimate reason he got angry because they told him that
They told
he
him
wasn't the king.
that you are not my king. You finna answer? Respond. Come on.
Oh no, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. You hit. Oh,
I was gonna go a whole different route.
go that route. Let me see where you're going.
I was just gonna say that I feel like we all can take something from Daniel because he's so humble and he know what Daniel know what he want and he goes after what he wants. They threw him in the lion's den and he still was praying to God. They they did a whole bunch of stuff to Daniel. And he was still going to God. He was still praying to God. So in the story, it talks about the quarterback, and it says that he was so prideful because he didn't want to go to tutoring. He was so focused on football that he didn't want to go to tutoring. It was his pride in him, and he wasn't trying to ask nobody for help. But at the end, he finally went. So all I gotta say is, don't let your pride kill your vision.
I was gonna say, oh, I was gonna say.
Done. You ain't
I
done.
don't know what Brother Boy told you. I don't know what Brother Boy told you.
Uh, I, it's also I can bring up another example of a humble person in Milwaukee, Giannis. Giannis is the most humble person I ever seen, most rich humble person I ever seen. He don't pull up the number on the back of his chest. He hold up the number in the front because he for Milwaukee. He for the city. He want to help this city. So that's why. That's another example of being humble.
And if we want to speak on arrogant, we could say Aaron Rodgers.
Right. We can't say Aaron Rodgers. We
got
talking.
Aaron Rodgers on this paper.
We
Go
talking.
ahead.
So Aaron Rodgers, I want somebody else to talk. But Aaron Rodgers, we brought him up because he won't. At first, everybody's on his side, and then he wanted the money. Now he wants the money, and now he's taking everybody away from us and just taking them to the Jets. So he arrogant and he real prideful because he want what he wanted. He didn't want what's best for the team. He not a team player. He a one man show.
Well, I have two responses to that. One is carnal, because as a Chicago Bears fan, I couldn't be more happier, to tell you the truth. The second response was, that was brilliant, sir. The understanding that it's not about us individually. What gave Daniel the power to believe was that he was on a team greater than him.
Yeah,
Whose team was he on?
God, Jesus.
That's the one you got the answer to. Y'all have blew me away with this. Daniel is a tough lesson. And these young people, please look at verse 25. This is what he just said.
You want me to read it?
Read 25.
And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Stop right there. And through his policy, through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. He's talking about the one that he saw in the vision. Through his policy, what this next king was going to do and set up. His policy was going to give everybody an opportunity. Who was this policy talking about? This had to be God. His policy, he was going to make sure that it wasn't about the earthly kingdom. It was about the team. You have blown me away. All of you have done a magnificent job of. I wish we could keep going, but we got to get to the adults today. Clap your hands for these outstanding. Oh my goodness. You all were amazing. You all were absolutely amazing. Any point that we left, anything that you read that we did not say that you would like to speak on? Brother Robert, come on, sir. You got to talk loud and look at the camera. Stand for me. Stand up and look at the camera, if you will.
Daniel was thrown in the lion's den. Then he called the angels.
And he called when he got in trouble. The angel came. Loyalty.
I didn't go to what Javon said and what Brother Boy taught us yesterday. He also taught us about confidence. He told us that you have to have enough confidence in God to, if they didn't have confidence in God, you would never got the lion's den. They didn't have confidence in God, he would have been burnt in the fire. The pride is big, but confidence is also a big part of believing in God and faith. You have to have confidence in God if
Wow.
you're trying to get out of something.
Daniel was so confident. What did he do in the lion's den?
He prayed.
What did he do after he prayed?
He went
Who
to
is
sleep.
that answer behind us? After he prayed, what did he do? He went to sleep.
That was good.
What was his pillow?
The lion.
That's some confidence. Is that confidence in himself?
No, it's confidence in God.
And then the next morning, the king came and got him. The king didn't even sleep that night. King woke, he didn't wake up, he got up. Got him out of the den. And what happened to the ones that threw him in the den?
The king threw them in the den.
The king threw them in the den. This is my favorite scripture in the Bible. What did the lions do?
Eat them.
Eat them instantly.
They ate them, but you got to be more specific. What does the Bible say that the lions did?
Devoured them.
Devoured them, but there's still more to it than that. What did the lions do? This is another, Robert. They went to them. The Bible says when they threw them down, before they hit the ground, the lions leaped up in the air. They purposely starved these lions so that they would be what?
Hungry.
So when you throw somebody in there,
They was gonna eat it.
but Daniel was so confident that he had done the right thing, he went to sleep. And that next morning, when they threw the ones, don't worry about the people that's hating on you. There are lions waiting for them. Okay, we got to go. God bless you all. You all have done a wonderful job. I salute your pastor. I salute your elder boy. Will you stand and wave your hand, sir? What a job. Are you the youth leader?
Yes.
He's a youth leader at our McClellan Church, and he's done such a wonderful job at preparing these young people. We're going into the autopsy with our adults, but we are coming back to teach. Nope, we don't have to come back. You all have open invitation. All you need is this link, and you can get your young people together at any time, any Saturday, go through the lessons, pick out one that you would like for them to teach, and you all can teach. I'm in Chicago, y'all here in Milwaukee. We'll be on the screen like this, and y'all just teach the lesson yourself. Y'all have done an excellent job. Please give them one more hand. Can I have that detective music?